What is up, everybody? Welcome back for another episode of the Turborilla Show. And today we have a very special guest along with us. His name's Bryan. He's over there. And we got Joe. Because we always
I'm Joe, like always.
Heck yeah.
Bryan here has been with Turborilla since we went mobile. So original Mad Skills Motocross, he had a big part of that. He's the one who got it on all your little iPhones out there. Part owner, and he helped design Mad Skills Motocross 3, which we're going to talk about later in the show.
Just a little bit.
I'm glad to be here.
We're glad you're here, definitely. All right, so let's.
I'm a regular viewer, you know.
A regular
viewer, by the way, but yes, absolutely.
Long-time listener, first-time caller. So let's go ahead.
Exactly.
We'll bump over to some Mad Skills Motocross 2, as we always do every week, and we're going to start with our jam track winners, the top three, and the first track was Pub. This was by Joe, and coming in top, we had DJ Ozzy, followed by some ZSE, and then Master 52 topping out. Was that Master 52? For real?
Yeah, I know. When I saw that, I was like, wait, what am I typing here? Master 52.
Did he get tired of winning all that money in cash jams?
I don't know.
Welcome back,
Look at
buddy.
that back scrub.
We missed you. Yeah, that's insane. These guys. Yeah, and I recorded all three of the replays here, so you can... I'm just kidding, I didn't do that.
Yeah,
That's
sure.
Gorgeous. Yeah, right? This track was fun.
It's nice to see the top.
Oh,
It's nice to see the top
Both
three guys
laps?
taking different lines.
yeah, absolutely.
I believe both laps he hit that back scrub perfectly.
I know. It's ridiculous. Oh, a little bouncy. Oh, look. Oh, hold on. Yeah, this was a great track. It's classic Joe. It's got all of the earmarks of a Joe track.
Yep. I tried to make an easier one. This is that's my version of easy. So hope you guys like it.
That's your version of easy? Yeah. Yeah, that's that one's banging. And then the second one, I built this one, right? Yeah, Kip's fault. This one made a lot of people angry, I guess.
Yeah, that's okay.
But there's a funny thing. I don't care. This was a good one. I had a blast with this one. So this is Kip's fault. This was another two-lapper. So there was two two-lappers this week. But this one, it's one of those ones where you got to be in the right spot at the right time. And see, we had ZSE winning this one. Is that Julito or Julito? BMX coming in second. And DJ Ozzy topping in on third. Look at that. You proud of those bumps right there. Look at them going over that wall, make it pretty. It's ridiculous.
That wall's insane.
Oh, and these guys were hitting it twice, man. Twice. I only hit it twice the entire week. Like, I don't even know. It's nuts.
I'm sure this is the line he intended when he designed the track.
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, that front end is different.
DJ Ozzy was in first early on, so he got passed up, huh?
I guess so, yeah.
Because when you were streaming on your Twitch channel, he was in first, I thought.
Yes. Yeah, he was. Oh, that's the perfect way to do it right there.
That's
oh my
crazy.
God. These guys, there's something wrong with them. I say it every week. Like, go outside. It's a beautiful world.
No, keep playing.
Right?
Just keep playing.
So anyway, so that was that one. I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. That one was fun to build. I remember building that one. It's if you guys know Kip, he's on the forums. Or used to be all the time. I don't know if he's still on there. All right, so we're gonna go into the preview of next week's track. This one's by the Stone. If you guys, this is be his third one in, I guess. Maybe about third.
Has anyone figured out who the Stone is yet?
No, I don't think so.
Has he come out of making
come out of the
himself
Mad
known
Skills
yet?
closet? No, I don't think so. So it's still a secret?
I don't know. You guys know who he is, but you might not know him as the Stone. So we'll let you guys keep trying to figure it out.
All right, we'll figure it out. We'll do that. All right, so this is Count Trakula. Love this name.
Yeah.
It's pretty awesome.
So this was me recording this, and I can guarantee you this is not the fast line. But it was this track is so hard that I was like, whatever, we'll go with this. And I only recorded one lap. It's a two-lapper, but I kept crashing on lap 2, so...
So I'm only watching one lap here?
You're only watching one lap.
All right, that's fine.
This little
Holy
section...
cow, man. Oh, this one's going to be fun.
All these little ripples. It's nice having new track designers because they make features we haven't seen yet. Like, there's a couple things in here that I was like, I've never ridden on this before.
And who made this one?
The Stone.
The Stone.
Oh, this is the Stone. Okay, gotcha.
All right, so that's pretty good. Yeah, I see you clammed your front fork there. That's pretty good. I like it.
Yeah.
All right, so I guess we're gonna move forward. We don't have what was our top threes this week? We had ZSE coming in first overall. DJ Ozzy was second, and Julito BMX was number 3. I can't talk.
All right. I guess we could talk a little bit about BMX too, since Brian's here. We could, what are you looking forward to, Brian, about BMX 2?
What am I looking forward to about it?
Yeah. What's your favorite part of that game?
I just think whenever you really get into the rhythm on that game, and there's so many ways to do it on every track that you play.
And it feels so good.
It's just so cool. It's so much fun. Yeah, I mean, it's almost, I don't know if I'd say it's easier to get into a good rhythm on that game than it is Mad Skills Motocross 2, but maybe it is. You have a little bit more control over your gravity, obviously.
Yeah.
So, and with what we did with the zoom, sort of zooms back a little bit as you gain height and when you're going really fast. Makes it a little bit easier to see the track ahead of you. So, I don't know. It's just, when you get a great run, it's a lot like Mad Skills Motocross 2 in that when you get a great run, it just feels amazing.
Yeah, you feel it as soon as you hit that finish line.
Yeah, just learning different ways to get through every track is awesome, and there's so many different styles of tracks, and you ride them differently. I don't know. It's awesome. I love that game.
Yeah.
I think my favorite part is watching Joe lay down a really good time and then Marty coming back and killing it in 5 minutes.
I don't even try.
Yeah. That's what happens.
Yeah,
I don't even try to compete against those guys. I just worry about whether or not I'm beating my best times and leave it at that.
Yeah.
I can't touch these other guys. It's crazy.
It's fun.
I like it too because it feels. It feels like a Turborilla game, obviously, but it's different enough from Mad Skills Motocross 2 that it makes it fun to play both. And when you kind of get a little tired of one, maybe you're hitting jam too much, you kind of switch over to the other one. It's fun to go back and forth.
Yeah, there's a lot of different little parts to it. It's it's going to be a banger. I love it.
Yeah,
it's fantastic.
And another thing that I've been sort of pushing for a long time in Mad Skills games, and people are going to really start seeing this in our next games, is more customization, the ability to have more of a unique, personalized presence in the games. And I think people are going to be, I know I'm stoked about the different bikes and gear options and customization options in BMX 2. It's way, way more than what we've done in Mad Skills Motocross 2.
Any of them.
And Mad Skills, and Mad Skills Motocross 3, which we'll talk about later, is going to take it to another level as well. So I think people will be glad they can actually kind of look different than everybody else. It's going to be cool.
So excited. I love it. All right, so I guess if you guys want to go ahead and move on to that, do you want to talk about some Mad Skills 3?
Yeah.
See how much we can squeeze out of you?
Yeah.
I know we probably won't get a lot, but we'll see what we can get. So
I'd say the first thing we should address, and Brian, you can talk about this, is sometimes I hear people say, Mad Skills Motocross 1 was amazing. Don't change it too much. We made Mad Skills Motocross 2. Everyone says it's awesome. I don't know how you can make it better. Some people are worried maybe we're going to screw it up. So what can you say about that? Yeah,
I've heard that a lot on social media, and the main thing I would say is we're just not going to mess with the physics all that much. That I know it's our game, and I'm a little bit biased, but I really don't know how the gameplay of Mad Skills Motocross 2 could be a whole lot better. Some people don't like the wheelie thing or whatever, but I think most of us have come to accept that it's just what happened to this game, and it's the way that you race, and it's fun. It's not exactly realistic, but it's the thing that sort of establishes skill in this game, and we didn't plan it that way. It just worked out that way. Yeah. So I think what you'll see is that we're not going to mess with that side of things too much. But if you really think about it, there's so many ways Mad Skills Motocross 2 could be better. There's so many ways, and I'll talk about some of the things that we're planning. One thing I want to emphasize is that it's early. We've done a lot of work already, but we're not even really close to being in the beta phase of the game yet. And anything that I talk about, for the most part, could change. That's one of the reasons we're hesitant to talk about stuff, is because it sets up expectations, and then if something happens and beta testing shows us that it's not going to work, or it's just not fun, then we change it, and we don't want to set people's expectations up and then we do something different. It's another reason we don't give release dates. We used to do that, and then whenever we didn't make the date, people would get mad, and it was just a letdown for everybody. So we just wait until we know what's going to happen and we talk about it. But I will talk about some stuff that we're going to do in Mad Skills Motocross 3, I think, and that we're planning on doing, at least, is maybe a better way to put it. And probably I'll start with what I would say is the #1 request that we've had since we released Mad Skills Motocross 1. And Joe, you could probably attest to this, and that is the track editor. People want to make tracks. Yeah.
Do you want to see the editor?
Yeah, let's put it up. And this is an early version of the editor, and you won't be able to tell a whole lot from it.
Let's do this right, man. Hold on.
Let's bring it up.
Oh God, here it is. This is a very early mock-up. Yep.
Yeah, it's a mock-up. I guess is this the first time we've ever shown anything at all from Mad Skills Motocross 3? I think it is.
I think so, yeah.
And this is not. There's a lot of stuff that you're looking at here that's not final. So, but it gives you an idea of what some of the basic tools that'll be available to people to build tracks in this game. Building tracks in Mad Skills Motocross is always going to be a tough thing to do because the physics are so sophisticated and precision is so important. We're working really hard to make it as easy as it can possibly be, but I don't think it's going to be as easy as it is in some games where you can just kind of start throwing stuff together and get away with it. I think for a track to be decent and to survive the Mad Skills community, it's gonna builders are gonna have to spend a little bit of time on that. So that's one thing that I can't imagine Mad Skills Motocross 3 doesn't launch without a track editor. Something would have to go terribly wrong for us to not include that from the very beginning. It's a major part of what our plan is. So, and with that, of course, will come
I was saying I've had a bunch of people mention it, like when I do the track builds on Twitch and stuff. Like, when can I build one, and when can we build it? Where's the editor? How do you get it? So that's going to be huge.
I mean, it's a whole new. So right off the bat, Mad Skills Motocross 2 can be improved 1,000-fold just by allowing people to build awesome tracks. And you know what's going to happen. Our players who are really into it are going to get really, really good at it. And just like we have players who have become legendary players, we're going to have track builders like Joe and Justin, you, and some other guys who are becoming legendary track builders. I know the same thing will happen from our community. Yeah, and then some people will suck at it.
And then people will forget about us.
Yeah, but then you think about it too, and like what Joe said earlier, when you bring a new track builder into the mix, you get features in a track that nobody else thought of. And now you've got this totally new thing that completely changes the face of the actual game. When you've got something totally new that nobody's really tried before, and then it works, and it's awesome.
We expect completely conceptually different takes on track building once this is released to the community. Yeah. So,
but I like this. I think it looks good.
Yeah, it'll be cool. And then there'll be a track discovery interface, and we're spending a lot of time thinking about that. How are people going to upload their tracks, and how are we going to find tracks and feature tracks that are really good, and ways that users can rate them so that the cream of the crop rises to the top and the crap falls to the side. And I don't mean to put that.
Man, I feel like I could have put a beat to that, dude. You could have rapped that.
I don't mean to put that so bluntly, but with everybody building tracks, there's going to be some pretty bad stuff, obviously.
Yeah.
And we need to. We're spending a lot of time thinking about ways to make sure that our players can find the good stuff. So. That's probably enough to say about the track editor, but some other things that we can do to make Mad Skills Motocross 3 better. Another thing that we've heard a lot throughout the years is that players would like to have some form of PvP, real-time PvP, player versus player. And in the past, we've been really hesitant because we've always kind of looked at it like, it seems like it would be fun, but if you really think about how Mad Skills Motocross is played and think about how many times you mash that restart button. What sense does it make? And I mean, are you going to end up racing and you're racing against another player and they crash right away, or they get out of rhythm, and next thing you know, they're forced to sort of finish a track in a bad rhythm, and that's not really a lot of fun. So we shied away from that for a really long time. We thought sending challenges made a lot more sense because of the importance of the restart in these games.
And that's worked great in Versus too. It really has.
Yeah, it has. But we think we found a cool way to do real-time PvP. Something that's going to work within the context of the game.
Is it 50 lap races where doesn't matter if you just try to make the
No, it's not. It's what I will say is and again, this is another thing that could change as we get into beta testing. But the early plan is that it's gonna be based off of a bracket setup, and I think what we'll find is that the tracks in this mode won't be particularly technical, so that the ability to get through them reasonably smoothly on one attempt is improved. We've got a number of different ideas that we think are going to make this idea work, and I don't want to get too into that right now, but it'll be totally different than anything that we've ever done before, and I think it's going to be really cool. We have done early tests of this in alpha so far. And we actually had another development company come over and do some early tests with us, and we're having a blast with it. It's an awful lot of fun. So I think we're on to something that's going to make it into the final game, and it's going to be great.
Well, if you need another alpha tester, you know who to call. I'll help you out on that.
Yeah. All right. Cool. We will have you in the next time we do that.
Sounds good.
Another thing that is obvious people want because they found a manual way to do it is teams. And,
manual. Me and Birdshaw are going insane. Just want you to know that.
Well, I'm sure you guys are, but
Constantly.
it just speaks to, well, first of all, I come from motocross. I worked for Racer X for almost 20 years, so I spent a lot of time in that sport and spent a lot of time at the races, and obviously teams are a big part. It's not a team sport, but there is a team dynamic to that sport, and what we've found, I think whenever you blend motocross with video games, there's more of a reason for there to be a team dynamic. And we have a lot of great ideas to take what you guys who are on these manual teams have done and formalize that process and give you ways within the game to play and to have a lot more fun playing socially with the people you're the closest with who play the game. I would say in Mad Skills Motocross 2, it is a communal game, but I don't really think we've done particularly well implementing methods inside the game to improve the community. I think that
shows how strong the community is, though, to kind of shoehorn their own little way of doing it into there. That shows how strong the community is and how much they want it. So
I absolutely agree, but I guess the point I'm getting at is this is just one more way that we can improve, because I think the community got strong in spite of the way we designed Mad Skills Motocross 2, not necessarily because of it. Yeah. And, that's just straight talk, but I think we can do a lot better, and it's one of those areas in Mad Skills Motocross 3 that there's just so much room for improvement, whether it's teams, whether it's the way you communicate with other players in the game in general. I think there's going to be a lot of improvement in the overall community that we have in Mad Skills Motocross 3. It's going to be killer.
I'm getting goosebumps thinking about how awesome it is. I'm so excited.
Yeah. One thing that we will do, and this is sort of based off of feedback that we had socially, some people watching this show may remember it's probably been a year ago that I put up a post asking about track surfaces and track obstacles. And it was a poll, and I was wondering how people felt.
I remember that.
Remember that?
Like logs in the road and stuff like that?
Yeah. And what we found is that we had almost unanimous approval from our core players to add track surfaces to the game. So people were interested in sand or interested in mud.
Yeah.
And not even necessarily water so much as different styles of dirt. But when we started introducing water crossings or rocks that you had to ride over or boulders or things that are more cross-country or trials-based, it was way fewer people believe that those types of elements should be introduced into the game. So kind of what we took from that, so this is a case where player feedback really helps to shape the game, is we decided that one thing we're definitely going to test is track surfaces. We don't have any plans currently to test adding boulders or logs or anything like that to the track. I personally feel that makes it more of a trials type game.
I'd probably go that route, definitely, because if you start putting logs in there, people don't even like walls in this game. Some people don't even like to slow down, so you probably start putting a log in front of them, they might just love it to pieces or hate it. It's going to be a win-win either way.
Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of other side-scrolling motorcycle racing games that I would call more of obstacle courses than racing games. I think Trials Extreme is an example of that. It's a good game for what it is, but it's an obstacle course game, and I don't see any reason to go down that road at all. So for now, all we're thinking about is experimenting and beta testing with track surfaces. We think we can do some cool stuff with it. We think it would open up a lot of great possibilities for great track builders to do neat things with, for players to find different lines to try to avoid slower surfaces. We've toyed around with the idea of...
That would be interesting.
Yeah.
To do that. I like that.
We've toyed around with the idea, and we don't want to overcomplicate Mad Skills Motocross 3 because we don't want it to come out in 2024. We're still a small team, and we want to make sure that we're we're doing something that is that's doable for our team, and it's not going to take too long. But it is. I think we can manage the track surfaces and get away with that, and it should be kind of cool. So I feel pretty good about that personally.
That's exciting.
Yeah, go ahead, Joe.
I just want to bring one thing up, and maybe we could talk about this. Is we basically take everyone's feedback into consideration, and sometimes we hear feedback and we think, oh, that actually sounds like an awesome idea, and then when we go to test it or we think more, we talk more about it, and we realize, maybe this isn't a great idea. And one of those is, Brian, you can decide if you want to talk about this or not, is how detailed you get into customizing the bike parts, from suspension, tuning suspension to exhaust and all that.
Yeah, we've talked about, we get that a lot, especially from core motocross racers who are familiar with that process in real life, and they want to be able to adjust their bike in a way that they might adjust their bike in real life. They get those concepts naturally because they race, right? And one of the challenges for us as developers is to find a way to create a game that's going to appeal to our core, which we will never turn our backs on. This game was built on the sport of motocross and on real motocross racers. To this day, Mad Skills Motocross 2 in its third year, is played mostly by people who are into the sport. Yeah. So we always kind of, when we're designing the game, we're always kind of like, okay, let's take care of that. Let's take care of our core first. But at the same time, as developers, you want to appeal to casual players as well. Mm-hmm. And as long as we don't do that at the expense of our core players, then we try really hard to do that. And when it comes to tuning the bikes and so forth, we worried about having different bikes at all in Mad Skills Motocross 2 because the game's so based on skill, and we didn't want it to become CSR racing where all of a sudden the machine is everything, and as long as you upgrade it, you're going to be faster than somebody else. So this is a balance that we've spent a lot of time thinking about. How can we make it to where you can upgrade bikes and you can do cool things to your motorcycle without making it to where that's the name of the game? And it's a challenge for us, and there's no doubt beta testing is going to come into play there. But when it comes to tweaking individual settings like suspension and exhaust and so forth, we worry that becomes too much of the game, and certain players will gain way more of an advantage than other players, and we're just afraid that it's going to become a little bit too complicated for the casual players. What our hope is that we can find a way to do something similar to that makes our core happy, while at the same time not overcomplicating things for casual players. So it's still up for debate, and we're going to have to see how beta testing goes, basically.
Fair enough. Well, it sounds good, and I know you didn't want to drop too much info on it, and because nothing's set in concrete, and like you said, there's no even close to having a release date, as you don't even have an idea. So
it's going to be a while. It's going to be a good while.
Heck yeah.
What was the last topic you wanted to bring up, right?
Customization. We mentioned it a little bit earlier, and like I said, one thing I noticed in motocross is that it's a fashionable sport. I mean, it's almost like a fashion show at the races. People care about what their gear looks like. You don't see people riding around in mismatched gear very often. People care what their bikes look like, especially at the very highest levels. It's super important, but it really goes all the way down to local racing. There's a lot of style in motocross, and that style evolves from year to year, and it's driven by the gear companies and the bike companies and the graphics companies. And it's really, really cool. I think it's one of the coolest visual sports in the world, personally. Again, I'm biased, but I really feel that way. And I think we've done just a bad job in Mad Skills Motocross to date representing that side of the sport. We made it so you could change your colors, and fortunately we had Fly Racing involved, and they allowed us to do some real gear sets, which were cool.
That was cool.
And that was one of the things that we did that was really cool. But I mean, there's only a few, and there are only a few colors. And if you take a look at the charts, or at the leaderboards, and you look at times, people are wearing basically the same stuff, and that's not going to be the case in Mad Skills Motocross 3. People are going to be looking different. They're going to wear what they want to wear. They're going to hopefully be able to wear what they would actually wear in real life, maybe even some real gear. We haven't finalized that yet, but it's going to be, customization is going to be through the roof in that game. BMX2 will be way better.
with customization and teams, would there be any possibility of getting team-driven cosmetics into the game? Has that ever been discussed? Like
Yeah,
we
it
had
has
with
been
the
discussed.
THR helmet and stuff like that. So, and you don't have to answer it if it's not. I know that might put some bulk on the developer side of it, but.
Well, it's a challenge. We've talked so much about that, you know. I mean, because a team identity, you know, if people on teams can have a really well-established team identity, then it's going to improve that team's chance of being meaningful to those players.
Yeah,
you know,
I've got some ideas, and I'll throw them to you guys offline.
Okay,
but I've got some good ones.
Cool. You know, I think also what it would do is it would improve a really great team's visibility through branding, just like any other great team has branding that people get to know. So it's important. We do have some ideas. Maybe I won't get into the specifics of those right now, but it's certainly something we've talked about ever since the moment we decided we were going to include teams, basically.
Yeah. Fair enough. I feel like Lloyd Christmas, so you're telling me there's a chance.
There's a chance, yeah, we'll see.
Awesome. Well, cool. I'm glad we got a little bit of it out there. You know, it feels refreshing. I'm so excited for it. You don't even know.
Yeah, and hey, one more time. Just if I could just clarify two things. All that could change. It could all change. And number two, and I'm going to say this as loudly as possible. Joe, maybe when you edit this, you can turn this up a little bit. There's no release date, and there's not even an idea of a release date. We don't know, and I can't even tell you what year. And maybe don't even ask me what decade. Like, I don't even want to get as specific as what decade.
That's fine. That's fine. That'll be all right.
Okay, no, it'll be this decade. It'll be this decade.
So within the next few years, then we'll be good. Nah, well, that's awesome. I'm excited. I really am. I'm legitimately excited. I get goosebumps thinking about how awesome it's going to be. So it's awesome. All right, so I guess you guys, is that it? You guys want to move on? Finish this bad boy up?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
So we do our giveaways every week, and we've got last week's winner who came in with the comment. And like I said, me and Joe have been playing some PUBG. This is TooWise, pop up here. I so want to play with you on PUBG. Add you guys on Steam. Hope to carry on with my M416. I'll give you a little taps. That's all I can do for you, because I'll pass out if I do any more. So congratulations, my friend. You win Premium Jam. All right, and then next week we're going to do the same thing. Comment below.
Hit us up. We'll play PUBG, but I don't know. If you play with me, you probably won't get a chicken dinner, so it's fine.
Me and Joe, we've gotten 2 chicken dinners, right?
I think so, yeah.
I think we have, yeah. Yeah, me and Joe, we've won PUBG twice, me and him. So it's not too bad.
Nice.
Not too shabby. So anyway, comment below on this video and tell your mother about it, and then you'll have a chance to win 5 Premium Jam rounds. But TooWise, go ahead and comment, hit one of us up somewhere on the on anywhere, and we'll get your Premium Jam, my friend. It'll be fun. All right, and then I guess that's it.
I guess so.
We're done.
That was our longest episode yet. So
yeah, if you're still listening, everybody who's still listening, no, I'm just kidding. You're not getting anything. Check out on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Joe, you got a Snapchat up and running yet?
No, we don't actually. But I don't know what I'd snap other than like my dog over and over.
All the crazy kids are using Snapchat these days.
Yeah.
But it's good. It's all good. All right, and I guess until next time, we will see you. Bryan, thanks for joining us this week. You need to come back. It was fun.
I will. I'll come back every couple of months or every few months and give you another update on MSM3, let you know how it's going.
Yeah,
That's
cool.
Perfect.
Look forward to it.
All right, boys. See you next week. Bye.
Bye-bye.